Hi, my name is Gray from Thiccly. Today we are going to go through design over coffee again. So in 2021, we started Thiccly to design plant care products to help us to take care of plants better. The plan is to make plant care as easy as possible, as fuss-free as possible, so that you actually take good care of your plants. And with that, we came out with the Thiccly Grow Pole, a moss pole system where you just fold a sheet of plastic together, stuff it full of moss, and you get an excellent grow pole that helps your plant grow really big and strong. And that's to cater to the plant market in 2021, where everyone is very crazy about monstera, rare anthuriums, and rare philodendrons. And over the years, we have come out with 3 versions, and actively now we have 2 versions and 3 sizes. We have the small, medium, and large to cater to different species. And also we have version 2, which closes at the back. There's a little bit of an older design, which people actually like. And we have a newer design called the version 3, which actually opens from the front. So by allowing it to open from the front, we're able to actually put the plant on and remove them for propagation much more easily when it comes time to do so. So in 2024, we have been speaking with our customers for a really long time. And we are trying to look for a new problem that we want to solve because the grow pole has been around since 2021 and is 3 years old at that point in time. We really think that we should bring some innovation into the market again. And we realize a lot of customers say that it's very hard to keep the moss pole hydrated, and we see a lot of different designs out there. There are a lot of innovative people who actually take a water bottle, put it upside down with a hole, and use that to actually water the moss pole. We've seen people design products that look exactly the same as well. And we thought that works pretty well, but we're not great fans of it. A reason is because you're putting something really heavy on top of the grow pole, and it makes it top heavy and prone to falling over. And the last thing we want to do is to sell a product that actually can damage your plants. So we have been thinking about it for over a year, and we came up with a few different designs. And ethically, we like to test our designs way ahead before we actually release any products. So one of the products we came out with is a pot design, where we actually mount the grow pole into the pot, a specially designed pot, which actually can be put onto a wall. And the reason we want to do that is a lot of customers told us that they want to build plant walls. And by doing a bunch of stacking on the wall, we are able to water one moss pole on top, and the water will actually trickle down to the next pot, go and hydrate the next moss pole. So you're watering only one time and you are getting 2 to 3 different, depending on how many different variations and how you've arranged your plants to actually get all the moss pole hydrated. And from there, we want to make that plant care much simpler. And we tested the design for over 6 months. We have got good results of the plants growing. But later, as I will show you, it turns out that that doesn't address the fundamental problems of keeping the moss pole hydrated. We are able to cut down the watering time significantly, but the moss pole still dries out way too fast, and the plant is not actually attached to the moss pole very well, and that then prevents the plant from growing to its best potential. So earlier in 2025, we tested out another system. Basically, we call it the GrowLids system, and it's based on a hydroponic system called the Thiccly hydroponics. So what Thiccly hydroponic is involved in is basically a very passive form of hydroponics. You have a big pot of water, and you put a net pot over it. And what it does is that the plant is actually growing in the net pot. The net pot is initially immersed in water. So you're kind of having the roots immersed in the water in the net pot with some kind of lacquer or pond or some kind of rock substrate to keep the plant planted more or less within that particular system. It's very similar to how we actually... Oh, that's my cat. This is Nori, my cat. She wants to be part of the video. Off you go. So as we were saying, the rocks basically form a kind of a substrate to help hold the plants inside the net pot. And I realized that this system resembles a lot like the way that we propagate our plants as well. To basically put the cuttings inside a cup of perlite and have the perlite immersed in water, and the perlite wicks up the water from the bottom and basically helps the plant to establish roots and therefore grow thereafter. So the whole idea is that this Thiccly system is something that people in our hobby has been doing for some time. They just didn't know it was called Thiccly, and we have only been using it for propagation. We have not been using it for growing plants properly. And so from that particular basis, we determined that actually a lot of our customers are going to be familiar with using this particular system to grow, and there is going to be very minimal kind of a change in habits for people to actually adopt this innovation. So from there, we designed the GrowLids system. So what it does is it has a little net pot, just like your propagation system, just like most Thiccly system, where you put a plant inside and you fill it up with some kind of rock substrate. We are pretty agnostic based on what kind of rocks you want to use. We have used perlite, we have used volcanic rock, we have used leca. It all seems to work. What's unique about the GrowLid is that we then have a D-shaped hole for us to actually insert the grow pole into, and that allows us to, for the first time, put a moss pole into a hydroponic system in a way that is very sturdy. We are not going to have a situation where the pole is going to lean forward if you're using very light rocks such as perlite, or if you're using very heavy rocks such as volcanic rock. Then you are going to have to spend a lot of money buying substrate, and at the same time very heavy rocks. I find that in a hydroponic system sometimes can get compacted, or that rock is very heavy on your roots. So at the bottom of the pot, as the roots go down, they can get pinched, and after that, if they die off, it's going to set off a chain reaction of root rot. Basically, a part of the root starts dying, it's going to start growing bacteria that is going to take out oxygen. You have your anaerobic cycle going over again, and from there it's going to spread some kind of root rot bacteria to the main plant itself. So by minimizing the net pot size, we are going to bypass the entire problem. The roots grow naturally into the water reservoir as per a regular Thiccly system, and that really gives it the best the best chance for the plants to actually absorb both the nutrients, have a very high humidity environment for the roots to actually stay in, have very good gas exchange area for the plants to actually take up any kind of air in the root system as well. Then when it comes back to the moss pole itself, we find that it's so much easier to hold it with a D-shaped hole rather than insert it into a deep net pot of substrate, because when you lift up the entire lid, you're going to be able to check on the root system, you're going to be able to check on the health of your plant. So what is unique other than the D-shaped hole for us to actually put the moss pole in is that we are going to use a kind of a sponge. So this is a EVA sponge. It's highly absorbent, and this is a very durable sponge. So what it does is this is going to sit in the reservoir of water. It's going to wake up the water, and because it's D-shaped as well, it fits very well inside the grow pole. And from the top surface, it's going to release moisture just through transpiration, and that's going to recondense inside your grow pole. And from there, your grow pole is going to stay hydrated. The plant roots is going to seek it out, and it's going to grow inside the grow pole itself. We've seen the roots go into the grow pole, go upwards in the natural process of climbing. As per a lot of the epiphytes that we are growing, they climb trees, it grows upwards. Then we have a lot of roots that grow in and grow downwards into the reservoir to seek water to help it to grow and also stabilize. And based on a few months of testing, we realized that it works out really well. And this is the whole design basis of how we came out with the GrowLids system. And we hope that you will support us on our pre-order campaign. It's still ongoing on our website, but we believe we are going to retail in about a month's time. So thank you very much for listening to Design Over Coffee.